What advice would you give someone who's brand new or maybe at an office that things aren't going well? How do you think, or what questions should they ask you? Like if I was coming, I was a brand new agent and I was coming to you, what questions do you think is good for someone to ask when interviewing in an office? Because I truly believe like a lot of people, it's crazy like me and you, we can switch any office for the most part, right? Like we could, if tomorrow you woke up and wanted to go to Real, it would be just fine, or Keller Williams or whatever. But when you're newer, I think most people rush into a brokerage when it's like, that's almost like, I'm very fortunate I picked the right brokerage on accident when I first started. Like I like walked in, I was like, I'm having a meeting. He's like, no, you don't. I'm like, oh, I'm in the wrong office. Oh, well, I'm already here. So let's talk to you. Right. And it worked out. Like, swear to God, like, I went to the wrong office. But for you, like, what questions are you want, if you're like, hey, ask these 3 questions or look for these 3 things or something like that to kind of get someone, because it's crazy. They join a bad office. They do no deals. They stick around way too long. And then they have to get a job because they make no money. Like, and when they should just like swap really fast. What advice would you give someone that?
And this is like a newer agent, just
newer agent, me, brand new, maybe been in the industry 6 months, haven't done any deals, feels lost.
Gosh, I'm typically the one asking them questions because they never know what the hell to ask.
That's why I'm asking you this question.
The questions, if I'm sitting across from an agent, they ask me these questions, what I would be like blown away by would be like, all right. I think a lot of people are like, what do you have for training? Right. Like, I think like just in general, what do you have in place to help me grow in my role as a real estate agent, whether it's education, learning how to run a business, mentorship, like what is it? Because if I know anything in life at this point, it is honestly, I think some people disagree with this, but I'm a wholehearted believer in it is not about what you know, it is who you know. When it comes to entrepreneurship, like you don't need to go to school, for example, to like run some sort of business. If you just, sorry, getting a phone call here. Am I still there?
Yeah, you're good.
I had not disturb, but my wife called me twice, so it went through. Sorry, honey, I'll call you soon. But like, if it's like a business, you're not gonna be able to go to school to learn how to run that business. You just got to learn from somebody how to do that, right? And so I think it's like mentorship is huge. Mentorship is honestly everything. If you're a new agent, I would say find somebody who is selling a lot of houses and literally work for them for free. Learn everything. Look at what they do every single day. And so it's like the question is, who do you have for mentorship? What do you guys do to foster mentorship or to have some sort of training? That's a huge one. Another one, obviously, I think is, now that EXP and Real and a few other companies exist, I honestly would be asking, what opportunities do I have for passive income? Because I don't know about you, Adam. I don't want to do this until I'm 70.
Well, the hard part too, I don't think people realize it's like, you can really never sell enough houses. Like the more you sell, then you need more support, which then your overhead increases. Yep. And it's almost like a sickness where it's like, well, if I just sold less, I'd probably make the same amount of money, but then how do I turn business away? It's like, you can't do it. Right. So I always love when people are like, I'm going to sell 30 houses a year and spend no money. I'm like, okay, that's like, it's not going to work. Like you're going to have to soon get assistants or whatever. So there has to be other ways to make money in this job.
Well, there's no retirement. And I think a lot of agents jump into this. Real estate's a fallback job, by the way. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 people on my team that went to school for real estate, but most people, it's like they failed at something else and they shift to real estate. And it's like most of those people just aren't thinking about retirement. They're literally thinking about, I need to get a paycheck before I lose my ass. And it's like, but if you just sit down and you like legitimately ask one of these big legacy brokers, hey, how do you help me retire someday? How do I do that? Who could walk me through that? What does that look like? They're not going to have an answer for you because there's no retirement. There's no retirement. That's why you talk to people who are 90 years old selling houses and you're just like, what now? Well, I like to do it. I love it. No, you don't. You just didn't save any money. And so like, honestly, retirement, revenue share, all that stuff is so important. We got to ask about that. And you got to be mentored by somebody who actually has revenue share and does it right and knows how to support you in that. And then it's just like, hey, if I start with you, well, last question before that would be, what proof do you have? Show me proof that people like me had success with you. Like, I don't think no one asked for proof. I just got done with the agent meeting before I jumped on this. The guy didn't ask for any proof. I could have told him anything. And it's like, not that I would, but you know what I mean? Like, he's not asking the right questions. Like, well, hey, Tyler, who do you have on your team that I could talk to that's just like me, that could show me that what you're saying is true? I think that's important. And then the last one is just when I join your team or when I join this brokerage, what business plan do you have set up for me? You know what I mean? And any agent out there that's, again, I think any agent should honestly be on a team at this point. But any agent that's new better be on a team. Like, it just not worth it not to. Like, for 6 months, just go and learn. Just go and do whatever.
Well, I think that's hard too. Is like, it doesn't mean you're going to be on the team forever.
No.
Like, be on a team for a year, get your feet wet. We've all, and I think we all did that. Like, we all started somewhere and then we left and we started, or you're on there and you're like, I'm cool. Like, this works for me.
Yeah.